Time for lunch now. Let's head over to the kitchen and say hello to ABC7 Culinary Director Judi Gallagher and see what she's fixing for us today. Hi, Judi.
Well, hi there, Scott. I'm making Brussels sprouts, and if Chris Westlake is in the booth, she is excited because that's her favorite dish I make every year, and every year we come up with something different. Last year we did the shaved Brussels sprout Caesar salad. This year I'm roasting them on the Stalk. Now, a few different places have them. Trader Joe's probably has the most amount of them, so if you want to get out to the store, today's a good day to get it. What makes it so simple is roasting it on the stalk is it's less time consuming than taking apart each one and making that little crisscross cut. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to sheet pan roast it with some lemons and a little cayenne pepper and herbs so it starts to char in the oven, which is going to be so delicious and simple. And I have a few ideas for those of you that are cooking for one or two. You might consider Cornish game hens. They have plenty left over in different stores, and I'm going to give you the rundown on turkeys and pies stock up in just a few minutes.
All right, back to the kitchen now where Brussels sprouts are cooking for us today. Here's Judi Gallagher.
Okay, a lot of people like to have a few different side dishes, and we know a lot of them have cream and cheese and all that gooiness. I want some simple vegetables that have a little bit of texture, and that's Brussels sprouts. Usually if somebody says to me, I don't like Brussels sprouts, I'll toss them in a little brown sugar, maple syrup, and roasted pecans. But for people that are like me, I just love vegetables in their natural state. What we're going to do is we're going to use a sheet pan, and we're going to cover a little bit on the base, mostly on the Brussels sprouts, just over like that. We're going to scatter some fresh thyme, and I have 2 lemons that are cut in half. We'll give a little squeeze now because we're going to wait and get the roasted lemon on this completely after it comes out of the oven. So salt and pepper, and a couple variations if you want. If I do a little heat with cayenne and a little crushed red pepper, if you don't want to do, and it's just a sprinkle, maybe a half a teaspoon, but if you don't want to do that, then by all means, think of something that you want to put on there, like a pinch of brown sugar. Even turmeric will be wonderful. And we'll go pretty abundant with black pepper. Now these are going to roast in the oven at 375 for about 30 minutes. I have a full clove of garlic. Where did I hide my garlic there? Here, I just had it. And I'm going to take that clove of garlic. I cut the top off just like that, and now I'm going to cover that with some olive oil. That's going to roast and make this beautiful rosebud of garlic. If you've ever eaten at Ophelia's on the Bay, they were known for that delicious roasted garlic. And you can just put that right in the pan, and we'll sprinkle that. So let's get this going in the oven so we're ready. And then when we come back, we can talk about a few last-minute tips that we have for you. And we'll be dry brining a turkey that we'll show you. I made it yesterday, a dry brined it for 2 days, did it in a brown paper bag last night, and it was delicious. One of the most moist turkeys I made. Little messy, and the skin isn't as crisp, but I'm going to show you so you can get ready if you want to do this version as well. Come back, we'll be done in just a few minutes, and we'll be able to cook up the Thanksgiving feast all week.
All right, back to the kitchen now. Brussels sprouts for us all today with Judi Gallagher.
But Scott, don't worry. I know veggies aren't your thing. I have lots of other yummy things. I have the turkey that came out so moist. This is 1/3 of the juice from the turkey pan from cooking it in a brown paper bag. So I'm going to walk you through a dry brine, and then we can show you again how to use a brown paper bag. And I got to tell you, I was pretty scared. But what we're going to do right now is we're taking brown sugar that's seasoned with a fair amount of kosher salt or sea salt, and you really want to get this bird really covered both sides. I have butter already, and I have some schmaltz at home that I picked up at Geyer's. Now I need to let you know, Geyer's Sausage Kitchen is running low on the organic Amish turkeys that they normally have, so they have a few of the smaller sizes left, and if you order it already roasted, but Whole Foods along with a lot of the major grocery stores have plenty. We're going to let this sit in the refrigerator, air dry it, and I have that wonderful turkey fat. That's basically schmaltz is rendered chicken or turkey fat, so that's going to sit on that just like that. We're going to leave this baby uncovered in the refrigerator for 2 days. Then it's going to go in a brown paper bag. what you're going to do with the brown paper bag, and make sure you use something where you know that the print on the bag, if there is some print, that it's made with safe paint. So what you basically do is you're going to take a full stick of Irish butter, and if you need a little more, do a little more. It's really important to really get this bag covered. Now, first time I tried it, I can say I probably overcooked it by 20 minutes. This is going to cook more than your average turkey when you pull a turkey out of the oven. This is going to cook a lot more because of the intensity of the bag. So it holds in all that steam from the turkey. So when you pull it out of the oven, you pull the bag. You can use knives to cut it. The bag is going to go placed seam side down, and we're just going to tuck it. But we're not ready for it yet, okay? So this can just go in the refrigerator and dry rub. And then the turkey will go in there tomorrow, and we will roast one tomorrow and one Thursday. Now, as I mentioned, I did one last night. Literally, when I went to lift it after the bag, it fell apart in my hand. I barely used a knife to completely get the wings, everything off. It just sits so beautifully and makes such a perfect view. And then you have the roasted Brussels sprouts right on the stalk. Put that in a nice platter. If you really want to jazz it up, you can definitely put some pomegranate seeds. Don't forget little Cornish game hens if you're cooking for just 1 or 2 people. And today is the day to start getting your bread stale for stuffing, okay? So I'm using a mixture of cranberry walnut and sourdough. Going to break it all up. Picked it up at Yoder's this morning. That'll be ready to go for tomorrow night. I'll saute the vegetables separately. We'll be ready for a taste when we come back, and I will be here on Thanksgiving morning at 5:30 to 7 to answer all your questions. And here we have it, a simple side dish that makes a pop at the table. Roasted Brussels sprouts still on that stalk. See how crispy and charred they get on the outside. Now the last thing you want to do is, after it cools down, is we're just going to do a little squeeze of the roasted lemon juice, and we've broken up the garlic, and we have the roasted garlic on that. Fantastic. It's going to be delicious. That can be part of your bubble and squeak with the leftover mashed potatoes and root vegetables that you can fry up with potatoes after Thanksgiving. We've dry brined our turkey that's going to sit for 2 days in the refrigerator now, just as it is, with lots of brown sugar and kosher salt. We have the Brussels sprouts ready to go, and the traditional roast it in a bag. I have proven it does work. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, and I'll be here Thanksgiving morning. You'll be able to phone in your questions for Turkey 911 with me and Chef Evan from the Summer House Steakhouse. I'm going to get ready to plate all this up for everybody and send it back to you, Scott.